guys, it's GHP, and welcome to this week's installment of the Black Market. Today, we're going to be looking at Xenan Midrange, which I've heard people call Xenan Sights before, as this deck is playing 9 Sights, which is extreme. But let's just jump into discussing the deck, why I'm playing it, and where it came from. So, Xenan's kind of fallen off the map. This set hasn't really had any good showings besides a top 4 in one of the ECQs by Stormblessed, which is what we took. We took his list, and mostly Magikarp has been editing the deck, changing a few things here and there, changing some numbers, for example, adding a Dark Returns and a Market Azindel, and just tweaking the deck a bit to try to combat the metagame. I think Xenan is very close to being a deck that we regularly see. It has a lot of good cards. The problem is some decks have cards like Display of Ambition, Ambition. That's going to give you a lot more sticking power in the game if we grind. So instead of like displays, this deck is using sights to generate value and get extra threats. And all those threats are also nice to like Dark Return, for example. So let's just jump into the deck. Our creature suite is pretty standard time, well, Xenan stuff, minus like we're not playing Mystic Ascended or Worldbearer Behemoth. So we have our teachers, we have our Temple Scribes, and we're playing 3 Amard Stingers. 3 because we're not playing Initiative of the Sands, which makes it like much better to play Amard Stinger when you have Initiate, but we're just playing it to have another 3-drop, and Ion doesn't seem particularly good right now. And we didn't want to go to 4 because we wanted all the other creatures more, and our removal suite we valued higher, basically, than another Amard Stinger. As sometimes this is just a 3-mana 2/4 charge with no effect, and that's not particularly good in Xenan Midrange. We're playing just 4 Smuggler / Merchant, and that's because there's nothing like a sight that you want to get for the market right now. If this deck wanted to trim on sights and say maybe just play 1 to like practice Arcanum at the market, which is possible, then I could see playing like 4 Reliant Merchant, 4 Ebon Dude Smuggler, but then you'd have to cut like this deck is, these market cards are very not like, they're not multicolored effects, so you'd have to change this market a lot, because for example Aurelia would only get 3 cards, and that's really not acceptable in my opinion. We have our Titans and our Veras, and our Moonstone Vanguard, the pledge has been really nice from my experience, and this card is very good if it sticks. We don't need something like Mystic Ascendant to draw us cards, because we have so much to do with our later game meta with sights. We got our sight suite. Xenan Temple is by far the best sight that Xenan has access to, especially the 5-drop slot. Office is really good but expensive. But Xenan Temple can really take over games. Initiation's great if you're all ahead. Scare could kill off like Aurelia Merchants and make some things die to Vera's favor. And then Xenan Augury, it's just as, you know, draw a card. It's fine. And War Dreader's great if it gets on the field and attacks. They were playing Practice Arcanum. This card is, we play it because it's cheap, not because it's great. The Accelerate's cool because it's really good with Teacher and Moonstone Vanguard, and Azindel if you get it from the market. A Refresh can be fine, it makes combat really awkward sometimes. And then Viper's Bite, same story, it can make combat really awkward for people, especially when like you are playing units bigger than your opponent, so you create double blocks that you always kill. And then Tolia is great if you get her, because this deck sometimes floats meta in the late game. And then Dizo's Office, we all kind of know. It kills a thing. It helps us stabilize the board. Although we have a fair bit of life gain so far already in the deck. It draws a card, and the threat is kind of medium, but it does exist. And Dizo's actually pretty good. Between Scorpions from Stinger and Temple Scribes and Merchants that are all kind of our bad bodies, often you can sacrifice something for the Dizo. One thing to note is when this card is on 3, so it's like gonna become Dizo next turn, you can bring in the Smuggler, and that makes it very hard to be able to actually make it so you can't get the Cabal Extortion scheme, because unless you have like Torch, you're not going to kill the Smuggler. And then our removal and our spell. So we're playing 2 Suffocates. It's not a card I want to overload on, although it's a very powerful card. And when it's good, it's extremely good. When it's weak, it's extremely weak. So I don't want access to a ton of them. Just to annihilate, because there's lots of multicolored cards. There's smugglers. There's Rezons. There's decks that don't play a lot of units. So, like, when Annihilate's good, again, it's very good. That's one thing about Xenan, is its removal is extremely good when it's good. But we're playing the cheaper removal. We're not playing, you know, Death Strikes and things that are universal. For Vera's favor, because I think Vera's favor is better than Seek Power in this deck. Our influence requirements are pretty easy. And, it also kills things like Oni Ruiner, which definitely matter for this deck. Vera's favoring a Hojin 2 is insane. And then 4 banish for just some cheap interaction. If we look at the market, we're playing Disjunction, Xenan Initiation, In Cold Blood, Stray, and Azindel. So you'll notice we have basically 3 removal spells in some way, which is fine. Destruction is good into the, like, the temporal matchups is the big one, where you could get their temporal. And we have ways to pop Aegis with the favor, which is nice. The initiation's good for any, like, basically board-centric matchup, because if you get ahead at all, you get very ahead. In Cold Blood is great, because you can kill, like, opposing smugglers, and cutting someone off their smugglers is a huge deal. Stray is for anti-aggro. We're not playing Ion or anything, so, like, sometimes we have aggro problems. And then Azindel, because I don't like the Dark Return that people were playing. I like having a bigger threat. And that's what Azindel offers, is he is just a massive threat that you have to answer, and then we can give him charge with Accelerate. We can Dark Return him. We have a lot of synergy if we want to, like, go all in on recurring Azindel. That's a thing we can do later on in the game. Our deck is not shadow focused enough to look at a card like Vera right now. Fate Touched. But if you wanted to build this deck with more shadow cards, I could see Vera being very good as well. There's a lot of ways to build Xenan Midrange right now. For example, you could play some ramp and try to play more Azindels, which is perfectly fine. But I wanted to try out the site version. So, yeah, let's jump into some games. Alright, we're on the play. Let's see what we're working with. So we have a hand that goes 2-drop into 3-drop with the crest to find us another power. We have the Smuggler if we need to get, like, a removal spell, and we have a sight, which is, like, you always want to find a sight in this deck. So yeah, this is a great hand. This is basically a perfect hand, the more I think about it. And they have a Echo, so it's safe to say that my opponent's probably a slower deck. Do I want that? I'm thinking no. I need power, and on 5 I want to play the Temple, so I'm going to bottom that. Any slow deck, if this teacher hits, we're in a great spot. Looks to me to be either Praxis Midrange or Fire Time Primal. Let's run out the teacher. If my opponent can't kill it, we're in a great spot. We have Banish if it's like, let's say they play an opposing teacher, but they're just going to run out of Torch. Okay. Interesting that they're not willing to wait to my turn to see if I have, like, an Annihilate pause. I'm going to point out my opponent made 2 mistakes this turn. A, he should have waited to my turn to see for the pause. And B, he went play the Seek and then play the Seek Power. So I now know he has 2 sigils. But if he had went start with the Seek and then play the like he starts his turn going Seek, then plays Seed of Fear. I only know about 1 sigil instead of 2. So I know he has Sigil, Echo, Echo, 3 cards. Now, do I want to Scribe or do I want to Smuggler? That's the question. What do I actually want to get? Nothing particularly in this matchup. So I think I'm just going to run out the Scribe. Vera's pretty good here. I could have played Waystone to turn on Seat because it would have made me go, if I draw Seat, I could go Vera plus Temple. The other option is just trying to be greedy, and I'm not sure I actually made the right decision, the more I think about it. Because this 2 life is just so irrelevant. Let's just slam a Vera.
Now it's my turn.
I always have to read the sites because I haven't played a ton with the this deck yet, the Xenan colors specifically. So I'm very curious as to, like, how do I want to order the sites if I have options and things like that. Okay, so we know they have a Sigil. They have a Jolton Hurler. They have 2 Jolton Hurlers, a Sigil, and an unknown card. That's interesting to know. So I can play Vera, or I can play Smuggler. We know he could just play a Hurler, so how good is this site? It's actually not that good here, so I'm going to play Vera. It's by far the hardest upside play. If I drop power, I could just go, like, Xenan Temple, Killer, and that's, like, a huge swing. I get the site in play. I mean, otherwise, interesting. He didn't even cast his Hurler, when I know he has at least one. He may have been one to the Ictu Merchant, so he has an Equivocate. So I'm probably going to play the 4-drop. That's actually solid. Let's just see what this gives us. Scribe is fine, because we're gonna have a lot of, well, yeah, I'll take Scribe and Chumps if I need to. And I think I just want to play Stirring Wind. I could leave up the Smuggler. So the awkward thing here is if I leave up Smuggler, and if I leave up Smuggler, he plays a threat that's not like her, though, like he just plays out a Hurler. I get in Cold Blood, and then it's kind of medium. But I don't even want to get in Cold Blood, so I'm going to play Stirring. I want to get Azindel. Azindel is extremely hard for this deck to beat. Alright, so his first merchant we didn't learn anything about. Unless he got this Praxis Banner. Otherwise, he still has it in hand. I think it's safe to say my opponent's going to have a Howling Peak at the end of his, in his hand now. So I'm just going to play this and get Killer, and if he has a second Equivocate or a third Torch, it's going to be a really bad time for me. But he doesn't, so this is great for me. I just get to kill this off. And now I have a site in play. It also does technically make Dark Returns better. I forgot about that. I do want to hit my power drop so I can answer a Heart in the Vault if it comes down. So I'll probably, like, I'm almost definitely casting Favor this turn. Okay. Let's cast our Augury. And I think I just take the Dark Return. Even though power is nice, I have a fair bit of power already. Let's attack. I actually think I'm just gonna Scribe plus end of turn Smuggler. So I made a mistake. I just realized. I should have Scribed first because I could have drawn a Martin Stinger. It's a pretty big mistake. I don't intend to play the Office next turn. Which means, like, I'm planning to go Smuggler, probably bid the Banish, get in Cold Blood or Azindel, play Favor plus in Cold Blood. If he plays Heart. So I think I bottom this. He does have the Heart. And I think I care enough about getting a World Joiner that I'm gonna get the in Cold Blood here. And bid the Vanish. I can't let him stick a threat because it's safe in my opinion. Literally none of these are good. So I can see if there's a pause, I guess. Do I want a Dark Return? Like, how good is going Dark Return Teacher in Cold Blood? It's actually probably very good here. Yeah, let's just get some tempo. Since we know I'm not getting a Zindo this turn. Did I make another mistake? No, not in my opinion. So, what I could have done is held back this 4/4 to double block if my opponent played a Zaichi, but he would need to have both fetched a Zaichi from his market, which is where most of them play it, and he would need to have a Primo Source in hand. So I don't think that's worth playing around. Alright, 0 meta strat's pretty okay. But we're going to get in for a ton here. We're going to deal 11, which is 12 for the Favor. We're going to Office this. We know he can't have a counter because we know his Heart hit strat. So this Office is going to be insane. He hit a Torch. I'm never respecting Zaichi here because Zaichi's not a winning line. I'm already ahead enough on board that Zaichi would likely have to block. Alright, Alright, so we hit him with the weights, which is like not great anymore. I just wanted the 4-4, not the weights, basically. So, I'm wondering what happened in this game, because my opponent had a hurler in hand. You got Boar? That's surprising. My opponent had 2 hurlers in hand because he drew 2 snowballs. He definitely bid 1 to the merchant, then didn't play it on 5, and then I think his second merchant he got the... he put the hurler back, so he opted to float a bunch of mana and just cast Equivocate 1 turn. Which made my sights so good. So yeah, he just got the hurler back, and we have the Banish. Perma, so yeah, we'll just Banish, and he'll be dead. Alright, doesn't matter at this point what we get. Hit him for 4, and we're 1-0 with Xenan's Sights. It's truly a sight to behold, man. Alright, game 2, we're on the play again. As a deck with Teacher and a Martin Stinger, obviously being on the play versus draw is a big advantage. His hand does nothing. The Dark Returns you don't want in your opener. This is a keep. It's very interesting. How do I want to order this hand? So, let's discuss. And I'm going to explain something about Pledge, but the Crest on 1 is nice, and it lets me cast Favor on 2 if I draw it. But I need another power so bad that I think I'm just going to play out a Pledged Vanguard, even though it feels kind of bad. And, like, imagine I put something crappy on bottom, and the card, so 2 cards down is Teacher. I'm going to feel dumb, but let's Pledge. So, I have a foil and a non-foil Moonstar Vanguard, and that's a punt. I have foil sigils, which means every card in my deck that has Pledge should be foil. Oh, you will top that against the guy who played Skycrag Banner. Probably Skycrag aggro. And I say that because these, like, if you play a non-foil one, it'll put a non-foil sigil. And if you're paying any attention, and you look at, you know, my, if you look at what I've played, if this was a regular sigil, you'd know, okay, I opted to Pledge, which tells you something about my hand. It might tell you I need power, it might tell you I think that card's just going to be bad in the matchup. Who knows, right? But it tells you something. So this is awkward. So this is what I don't like about the Praxis Arcanum, is it doesn't do anything when I'm behind on board. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pass. I'm going to Smuggler, and I'm probably going to get Stray into Shadow and just Stray his board. So if he just attacks, I'm probably going to play Smuggler and Chump, but I need to think about that because I don't want to make him play too defensive. Obviously, if he plays like a champion, I'm going to play it in block. But I think I'm going to save myself 2 life, 3 life to clear off his board here. The other option is to Smuggler and then play the Temple and Initiation onto Wump, but I think that's a losing line. So I'm going to get rid of Arcanum, get my Stray, and just gain 2 life. And we learned that my opponent... Sorry, I had to answer that. It was kind of important. We learned that my opponent has either Torch or Islands Intervention or Pummel if he's playing like a very off-the-beaten-path list. But I wouldn't recommend playing Pummel right now in your Skycrag aggro decks, guys. There's so much removal in the format that I don't want cards that do nothing when they're stuck in my hand. I don't want Rampage. I don't want Pummel. Finest Star is an exception in Rakano. So, please don't play like Snow Crush Yeti here. I don't want him to be able to have Remnants on this board. Alright. Wow, Suffocate is really interesting. I'm going to Stray, but Suffocate makes it so my next turns are nice. If I draw Power, I could go like Moonstone Suffocate, which is very good. Otherwise, I could go like Dark Return the Smuggler. So, does he have Islands Intervention? Islands Intervention beats this, and probably wins the game. But I think it's now safe to say he doesn't have it, or he didn't know the ruling. I believe Islands Intervention is a permanent +3 health. Yeah, it is. So yeah, I would have Islands if I had it. So I want to play my Moonstone if possible. So hopefully I draw power, so I could go suffocate Moonstone. Because I just want Moonstone on the board in this matchup. Okay. Double Dust Raider's annoying because I can't kill it. Would I rather Moonstone or Vara? Wow. I actually think Moonstone because of Suffocate. And I'd rather block with Moonstone. Like, I know he has Torch. So I'm gonna go Moonstone, attempt to block. I gain 5. It gets torched, and I probably just Dark Return it. Or I just play Vera. Both odds are good. Point is, I'm playing around the Permafrost here. If he has, like, Ankle Biter, I'll be surprised because he's the Yeti's version. And that deck is, like, super tight on what it can play. It gives up a lot of cards that are already powerful to be able to play the Yeti synergy. How would Pig Smuggler Obliterate? Maybe Rock Slide or Downpour. If he goes like Downpour plus Torch, I will be so happy here. And this didn't get Berserk, so he did draw it his last 2 draws off the Dust Raider. Okay. Alright, so nothing. So I can play this and Initiation, but that doesn't seem great. So I'm just gonna attack. If he wants to block and kill it, he can. Or, sorry, they can. I just realized I've been saying he a lot in this video, and that's my bad. That's not fair of me to do. I will Smuggler or Dust Raider. He's already have value off Dust Raider, like he's been in play for 2 turns, and I have so many big blockers that they likely all need, like, the Berserk doesn't help get through something like Vera, basically. I don't care if they sacrifice the drone or not. That's why I'm just like, I'll play this and it'll do something. I won't Dark Return, because I'd rather either of these over the Smuggler. I think we have a really good Skycrag matchup, by the way.
Let's cut you down to size.
I guess I lose? Yeah. I mean, that's brutal, but, like, there's not a ton I can do about it here. Wow. So he is... They are playing the Ankle Cutter version. Ew. 4 Dust Raiders? No. Yeah, 4 Dust Raiders. And this is a problem because we're kind of stuck on power. We need another power to go like Banish plus Dark Return something. So I actually, as weird as it sounds, I think the play... I'm never going to beat a champion, by the way. So I'm going to Dark Return the Smuggler. I'm going to play it. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get Initiation. And I'm just going to kill off the 3-1. It's the only way I win this game. I can never beat this 3-1 like just sat here on the board. We needed a favor or something to beat it, but otherwise it just destroyed my turns. So right now I'm taking 7. I'm dead to a champion that has Berserk. If possible in a matchup like this, by the way, if you can get it all ahead on the board, it's great to be able to just hold up your mana for like Banish because of Ankle Biter. Or Ankle Cutter, sorry. So I'm dead to Shugo Tactic. They do have a pause, but they didn't play it, so safe to say no Tactic. They've only been to the market once, so I'm not playing around Obliterate. So Stinger versus Moonstone, that's interesting. So Moonstone, like it says the words gain 5 life. That's kind of good. So I'm gonna play... I think I'd rather play Moonstone than the Stinger here. It's also better if this sticks. And we're holding up... Or we're not holding up Banish this turn. Next turn we're holding up Banish. So another Ankle Cutter would be really bad, especially because we know they have a fast spell, so it's probably Torch. We which would mean I'd go to 4 at minimum. Right now I gain 4 life if he attacks, basically. If they attack. I need to stop saying that, I apologize. How greedy do I get? Because the Grenadin has to attack. So right now if I block, let's say they have Torch. I block one of these, I go to 12, I go to 9, and they torch the Moonstone Vanguard. Or I go to 1 less life and they can't torch the Vanguard, so I get another 5 later. So I think this is right. I've been really bad with my pronouns in this video. I fully apologize. Okay, that's okay. Obviously, I need a turn to put the temple in play. So if I attack, they can block and torch. So I think it's actually my best interest to not draw a card, because I'd rather gain 5 life than draw a card.
I'll finish this quickly.
As weird as that sounds. I could have banished the crunch and attacked for 2, but I'm kind of doing the take no risk type of play here, because I don't think I have any reason to take any risk. For the sake of my blocks, if I put Moonstone in front of crunch, they're going to want to torch my Moonstone before damage. Because of the overwhelm, so then I can banish the crunch, still gain essentially 8 life. That'll probably be good. That's 1 torch. Did they draw the 3rd torch? What? Okay. That's just not a card I would, like, ever tell someone to play around right now. That's all. Like, I'm not gonna bash this person. It's just not something I would exactly expect to see. And they have another pause. If this is intervention, I'm losing. Okay, they're playing Islands Intervention, too. I don't think I can win this game, right? I block here and I go to 1. Yeah, that's all I can do. And then I hope they draw nothing. Wow. I'm not going to play around Snow Pelting, and I'm not going to play around Islands Intervention right now either, though. Like, I needed to play, I think, the way I did. I could have banished, but I wanted to get them to attack me, and I think that was worth that risk. But now I just die, okay. Okay. 1-1. Alright, game 3. From very close last game, sounds pretty good. We have a 2-drop, we have some power, we have some interaction. Our last game was really close. Lost to some cards that I wouldn't generally recommend you play around, which, like, is always kind of awkward, because it's like, are you supposed to change your play after seeing what happened? This is looking to be like a Felon aggro deck. I would like to draw more power. Teacher's great, but not that great. I'm definitely looking to hit because I want to draw power, not because I care about this. I'm also very okay with this trade. So I'll just play at another teacher.
You're a sad bunch.
This could be a Vara coming down here. We know they have at least 1 Sigil in hand. Dark Return that. If they're willing to Dark Return that, I'm definitely willing to trade my teacher with it. I'm not sure if they're willing to make this trade. I'm just gonna... Well, what I should do, I don't want them to know I have the pause regardless, is shoot their face and then attack. If I infiltrated, I would still be okay with the line I just took. But this hides my banish, and I think my banish is very important this game when it comes to information.
You're a sad bunch.
They are working hard to not get hit by teacher. This is a... Well, think I lost. I think I just lost this game. Because I don't have a way to answer this right now, and I don't have one of the sites to help me. So I need, like, 2 turns. So this Titan has to be good. If they have, like, Annihilate, I'm just not going to beat this hurler. At least not very easily. One awkward thing here is they take my Stinger, probably. Unless they have like a Vera. So they have like a Vera. Maybe a Rip Knife. They definitely have another. They have a threat that dies to banish because this Stinger is really good here. Second return, putting a 4/4 assassin. So if we're just gonna board stall, this definitely favors me. So I can go favor. That's great actually. So I can go favor this, play the power, pass turn. Then I have the smuggler, and I can get straight into shadow if I want. Just to like. I'm against a deck that's playing what appears to be like a 4 Dark Return package, so I'm very okay with stray into shadow, even if I kill my own teacher. I expect them to attack with something. I don't get to respond to that. That sucks. I really do wish I could respond here, but I can't, so now they get Annihilate. Yeah, I lost. Like, I don't have outs here anymore. It took me so long to get on the board, and my opponent's draw was so efficient that, like, I'm not winning. I'm gonna play the Titan, but if any more interaction comes up, I'll just concede. This was an extremely good film mid-range draw. Okay, they know I have Stinger, so... Okay, let's move on. This hand's weird. It's very slow. And I'm on the draw. I have a crest. I think this is a mulligan. Like, the hand just doesn't do enough. I need something early. There's a reason why our curve is very low. Sure. It's Annihilate into Vera, most likely, which is kind of good. And if the board's unanswered, like, I could just play the site. So if this is Haunted Highway, my hand is really awkward, because Annihilate doesn't always find a target. If this is Fell Midrange again, then this is weird, because what is my sample size? Like, what's going on? But if it's Fell Mid, that deck is really bad at hitting my sights. Main phase Wisdom. I don't understand my opponent's plays so far this game. Or, yeah, this Wisdom doesn't make sense. I'm not going to favor it because that deck has lots of Aegis. This is interesting. So if I put the sight in play, okay, I play Vera. Like, how bad is just give a unit my hand shards? It's pretty good, I think. I will give it to Vera. No pause, so there's no wisdom or unseal. Okay. The longer it takes for them to play a threat, the better it is for me. Because I'm the guy playing 9 sights. And in a matchup like Felm, where they don't have a card that goes way over the top of me, sights are just the best cards in the matchup. There's too bad Refreshed can't hit my own sight. Okay. So I have to be scared of Azendal's gift, which makes me sad, but I think I want to hold the Vera to pop Aegis, by the way, since I'm going to be playing this Vera's favor this turn. So I'll refresh, target me. Yeah, I'm just going to favor this. Play the Shadow Sigil that I draw. I play the Titan. Which I can give Deadly, but that's not that important. So this gives me Tolier, which is pretty good. Okay, they have Annihilate, that's fine. It's not what they got from the market.
You buying or not?
Makes you very scared. Scribe is actually so nice with this site. Just run it out. Favor, that's a great draw. So I don't have to blow this Annihilate. So, if my opponent has Gift, I play a massive... I have Vera, I get Tonelier, I Dark Return back Titan. I don't know if Gift is actually good. Dizo's Office is pretty good here, but I don't, like, not every film list even plays Office. I think they should, but that's not my point. I think they have the Gift. Okay. Alright, so I get myself the Tonelier. Let's draw a card. Marn Stinger. That's pretty good. I just don't know if I want to develop it this turn. I definitely want to Dark Return, get back Titan, play Titan. I think I'm just gonna hold the Annihilate up. I also reserve 2 mana and the Tonelier pool is kind of nice. Vera's not good here because it only gets back a merchant. Although there are good merchant cards, don't get me wrong. I'm not. What? You got it. Not a card I'm used to seeing. I think I attack with both of these and see what they do and then just play Stinger. Do I want to play Power?
I'll finish this quickly.
What does it give me access to? It gives me Scribe plus Sight. I think that's good enough. I know I've already seen 2 of my 4 Scribes, but like, I don't need a large reason to hold the extra power. I just need, like, or I don't need a large reason to play the power. I just need a reason. So this is Kill my Titan. Yeah, this is Kill my Titan, I guess. Or my Tonelier. Like, I'm gonna have 15 power next turn. But that doesn't matter right now. If they don't kill that. So if I attack with Titan, they have to chump block, and then they get to scheme. If I attack the Sight, they might not block. Yeah, I have to attack him. It's just worth thinking about it a little bit. Like, what? Okay. Alright, game 4 on the play. What do we got? So I have turn 3 Stinger with a Crest to find us power, and we have Interaction plus Vera. This hand's actually very good. Obviously I wish my power was like Sigil Seat this Crest so that I could draw like a 2-drop and not feel bad. I would top power though. But this hand is pretty good. Now the question is, am I get Skycrag aggro, a control deck, who knows? Regardless, Stinger on 3 is going to be good, unless my opponent's holding up like a Defiance. Like, FTP, which you've already played, and we saw how this went earlier, is we had a lot more value with the sites. Even if they had Torch, they don't deal with this. They don't have a Torch, though. We just learned that. I believe they went Crest, yes. Very important to know what they're actually doing. So, if they if they scout to the bottom ever, it could be a Scorpion, so like, you have to account for that. But not always. We are miles ahead here. We know they don't have a Torture to Equivocate, that's why I attack first, just to know. Because Banish doesn't trigger on my own unit, so there'd be no pause. If we draw power, like, I'm just gonna attack and see what happens. So they top decked it Equivocate. I don't think I need to deploy the Temple. That's pretty good. Like, okay. It's not great, but for a random 4-drop, it's okay. So second Vera can test basically anything they could play. Okay, this is probably Howling Peak. I think, okay, I could just banish Perma. That's annoying. As weird as it sounds, I think I want to put this on the board and cast Initiation. I don't want to do nothing this turn, and I don't want to give them a good Howling Peak. I would love to get a Heart of the Vault in my Void. Just pointing that out. Moonstone Vanguard. Alright, that's annoying. Augury. Take a Vera. Cast a Vera.
Now it's my turn.
Just hold up Banish. Awesome. I want these traps because it contests them going like gun down. Trying to contest my site. They've drawn triple Permafrost? Come on. I'm just gonna chump. Wow. Triple Perma is kind of insane. I'll take a Titan. Thank you. That gives me a solid Dark Return. If I draw it. Vera's fine. Scare, target. I'm trying to think if there's an actual application to one of these. I think I want my Vera, so if for some reason they die, they're 6/7s if I Dark Return. I think I just do this. Now, do I blow my favor? I think no.
Now it's my
I wish this was power so I could just play another blocker, but awesome, we hit a second trap. We knew they'd come eventually. They could play like Merchant plus Torrential Downpour to make me choose between World Joiner and Vera, but that's not a hard choice. So if they hit second Equiv, fourth Perma, they get through. Awesome, I get World Joiner. Hello. I am World Joiner. And I think I just... Well, no, I can attack. I'm very okay with any blocks they make. And I'm very okay if they just take it. This trap's been excellent. Game winning, potentially. They definitely, like... I trap 8 a Perma, and you just hit double... Ouch, you hit double, Echo? So they could hit a... So one of them is Zhou. What does this do again? When it attacks, each enemy units get -1, -1. So for every unit, I cast Plague, and then World Joiner gets +1/+1 stats for every unit it shrunk. So like if I attack right now, it'd be a 10/10 attacking into a 4/4 and a 5/5. Are you kidding me? That, like, there's the punish, but I don't know if I was supposed to play around, you know, that exact scenario.
Right here.
This is not the worst, but it's like... The problem is, I have nothing in my, my bin right now that it hits. Third Equivocate. Okay. Like, that's how we lose this game, is... my opponent getting wrecked. Did you draw a torch? No? I wonder what fastball they have then. They didn't play display. I mean, yeah, they just play Zhou, and like, I'm losing. What a high roll. Like, I know we had a good start, but the opponent drawing triple Permafrost, triple Equivocate, and then peeling the double Echo? Like, alright. I'll take it. I don't even have a hit for this right now. We are just flooding. So they have a torch.
A purpose stronger than steel. You're a sad bunch.
I can still win. I haven't been to the market this game, and I've only saw one of my sites. It's not like I don't have value left. My opponent has 2 treasures.
Trust in yourself.
What is this draw? They have a Joe and a treasure. Yeah. What are these draws? Okay. And we drew 12 power, so we lose. What the hell was that, though? So we're 2-2. I don't feel like that was a game we should have ever lost, but we just got mega high rolled. Alright, our final game on the play again. No. Zen doesn't have power. This is fine. So hopefully we got inscribe. If we draw a teacher, we'll have to think about it. Our opponent has an echo, so it's basically, we know it's FJS. I think FJS is solid for us. Again, we just have so much value. Awkwardly, Razan kills both of these sites, but not every list plays Razan. Alright. That might be the Gretidid's build. Regardless, our Bard Stinger is just nice. I'll get in. Avera is... I mean, it's annoying. I have to sacrifice the 1/1 so I could suffocate. But ideally, I want to actually develop this turn. Put a site in play. If they don't have a merchant, they do. So like, I could favor... Power, huh? Like, what if I... just suffocate... Well... Okay, I could make Tomb really bad and go... Favor you, suffocate your merchant. Then next turn go Arcanum, give teacher charge, play teacher. Because it'll cost 1. Yeah, that seems good. This is an interesting game. I don't think I'm gonna get a good end to the Vera here, though. Which is awkward, but... Besides that, like, we're in a great spot now. Stinger versus Teacher. I think I want my site in play, so I'm gonna go with this. Let's see if there's a pause. Accelerate, target. Yeah, there's a pause. I'm still gonna run it out. Make him use whatever it is. Could be Annihilate, and I would love to get an Annihilate out of their hand. We haven't seen one of their Scorpions yet. There's a couple... There's 5 supposed to be in their top half. Awesome, awesome. But, our top 15, where did half come from? Give... I guess this Deadly. But... They have played multiple crests, so that might not actually be true. So they have another pause, Annihilate kills, and Defiance kills. So they have Annihilate. Okay. I don't think I play this power. There's very few ways for us both to draw additional cards. I draw Dark Return, I get to attack with a Teacher. Because it has charge. They're gonna burn a Slay. Interesting. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna refresh the Scribe. I'm gonna play a Sigil. And I'm gonna pass turn. And the reason for it is some lists still play Highwayman. They have Razan. Sure. Feels bad. But I just play another site and kill her. These two sites combo very nicely, I must say. I also like that going in my Void. It's a nice Dark Return. I know they have a Zhou, unless they put it in the market. So I can get... I probably just Augury this turn. Try to draw something besides all of the power. Smuggler... So the interesting thing with Smuggler is I could get Inco Blood, or I could man up and get a Zindel. I think they probably have Harsh Rule. Okay, there's one of the traps. For those who don't know, by the way, if you discard the trap to quarry, it still counts as for this destiny because of how it's worded. It's when it goes through the void. So if you discard it with quarry, I still get the effect.
The fruits of paradise.
Alright, I'm gonna develop inside my Zindel this turn. And I'm also going to scare his unit. So that no matter how he blocks, his unit dies. And I draw a card. Unless they have a 0 mana Torture Defiance. I didn't see a pause though for the Torch, but there could be for Defiance. What did we hit? Annihilate, that's solid. Because I know they have Zhou, like the one they just top decked. I think I would have rathered his Zhou personally. Than his Annihilate. But at least I have an answer. So now I get World Joiner. I don't know if they're playing Harsh Rule in their list. I will take that. I don't think I'm supposed to hold Titan there and go Sight plus Titan in the same turn to get Xenan Initiation. We knew about this, and we also know about Zhou. Damn. That's tragic. Alright, I'm just gonna play a second Sight though and cast the Cardra. That's interesting. They're all like solid. What's in my market? Not a ton. So I think I could just get a Marn Stinger. It gives me threats. And I know they can't answer this. They haven't cast Quarry since the last attack I did, which means I know there's no 0 mana Defiance. I could have gotten in Cold Blood. That's very true. But I already have a ton of value and the answer to the Zhou. Okay. Another Quarry. So they're electing not to play their Zhou unless their hand was already a Sigil. I still get the thing. The Scorpion. Alright, rare. So I obviously don't want to burn my initiation. That's the good one. So I'm just gonna scare my Marn Stinger and get in. I'm not gonna play the Vera either because they need a Horse Rule anyways. Let alone the fact that I just don't need to commit more. I have a ton of stuff on board. So they drew that this turn because they didn't get it off Quarry. So they got it off their crest. They've played 2 rules, so we're going in. And I mean, even if this gets board cleared, our opponent is forced to play to try to beat our World Joiner. Sure. So they have no pause. I get to draw a card. I get World Joiner. My opponent goes to 1. We have Banish. So they're dead to me drawing Favor. Sure. So even if they have another rule, we're fine. Okay. I don't think my opponent has any outs from here. They don't have anything with Revenge shuffled into their deck. So, alright, we finished 3-2 with our Xenan Sights deck. What did we lose to? We lost to a really good Feln draw. And we also lost to a Skycrag player when we died to Ankle Cutter plus a few cards that I don't recommend people playing around. I think both of those matchups are pretty good. I guess, wait, did we play 6 games? Feln, Skycrag, this, yeah, second FTP and FTP. So we played 6 games. We went 3-3. I just realized that. But that's okay. So the losses all felt pretty out of our control where it's like cards we wouldn't play around or like against the FTP and the film was just there's nothing we could have drawn to fix that. There was just, you know, triple perma, triple equivocate, triple Joe, stuff like that. Very hard to beat. But overall, I've been really happy with this deck, and I want to say thanks to you guys for watching this week's episode of the Black Market, and I'll see you next week with hopefully something, you know, worth coming to the market for.